Whoa, welcome back to another episode of the Big Classic Talk podcast. I got my co-host here, Walter Seller.
I'm back.
My other co-host behind the camera, Rashad Scott. And we are here to drop more nuggets of information, give you updates, and just talk some bullshit. So hope your week was as good as ours. We are currently 8 weeks, 6 days away from the, what is that thing called? The Masters Olympia?
Old Man Olympia.
Old Man Olympia, whatever. Mr. Olympia Champion is just going to say, Masters Olympia Champion. When I put it down, Olympia Champion, people still be like, oh shit, that's Olympia Champion. So
it better be.
I am super excited. What's going on with you?
Bruh, it's that right there. We're metamorphosizing. We're embracing our metamorphosis. The butterfly effect is open.
Studio for training. It is nice. It is elegant. It is a boutique. It is everything from the novice person that needs to feel comfortable to the advanced person who wants that extra push. Go check my man out in Middletown, Delaware.
Yep.
He's doing great things over there.
Bestindelaware.com.
Yes.
It's not just about the training part, it's the environment. Like you said, it's not everybody can take in the training center or the Edge or DSI, all the other great gyms in the area. Some people need a little bit less intensity in the gym. They're still working hard. It's some people just can't handle a lot.
Yeah, man. Listen, I think I applaud you for putting that type of gym up, because for the person who is new to the gym, coming into the training center takes a lot of it takes a lot of guts. Mm-hmm. It's intimidating, because the misconception is when you're walking into a brand new facility, especially one that's hardcore, lots of weights banging. I mean, everybody from, you got the 20-year-old benching 315, but you got the 75-year-old benching 315 too,
Right.
So everybody's thinking, oh my God, I got to be in shape to go to the training center, which is not the truth, but it definitely can be a huge barrier to entry for a brand new person who's just getting started. And I think the key thing that people miss out is when you go to the gym, you don't have a plan. Well, with your gym,
You get a plan just for signing up.
yeah, that's priceless.
Having direction when you walk in, while you may not hire us or hire one of our trainers that are on staff, it's good to know that you have a guided workout every single day, right in the app in your hand, along with the basic meal plan in your hand. You don't have to guess, so it's fun, man. Today we signed up 3 people today.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you. I think we've 12 in just the first couple days.
Yeah, man, so shoot, 3 a day, that'd be put you at 90 by the end of the month, boy, you were there.
Yeah,
there.
Well, we are restricting our membership to just 150 people, so if you want to join in the area, you can come on. So I think that we'll be there by the end of August. We get 150 by the August.
Nice. I mean, I've had my app now for a year, and it's helped quite a few people. The Body by Biggie, and it's a different concept than what you're kind of pushing at that facility. Mine, is you want to be strong, you want to be big, you want to be like a Hulk, you jump on my app, because that's what I'm trying to create. And I have males and females on it. Mm-hmm. But like when I see other people in this gym, even in this gym, and I watch them and I'm seeing them walk around, I'm going, your body is so imbalanced. Mm-hmm. You don't really understand how to train. You know how to work out. Obviously, you work hard, you sweat, you're pushing, and you're putting out, expending lots of energy, you look lean. But I'm looking at these body parts and they're so underdeveloped.
Yep.
Case in point, you take somebody who's wide as all get out, but they have no inner back. Their traps are underdeveloped, their rhomboids are underdeveloped, their spinal erectors are underdeveloped. And you say, that's the purpose of having, someone to give you that professional guidance, is to create balance to your physique, and not show up 6 months into training and realize, oh my God, I am so weak in this one area, and now it's starting to show up with the shoulder injury, with the quad injury because your hamstrings weren't strong enough, all these things that people don't realize, because you can't necessarily feel it if you don't see it, right? When you're first starting out, so yeah.
When you first start out, everything is sore.
Yeah, and your body doesn't take a whole lot to respond. But then what happens is you start training over and over again, and all of a sudden you start gravitating to what you enjoy.
Exactly.
What you enjoy, and then all of a sudden you look around, you're like, I ain't really done calves in like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before.
Now you got getaway sticks instead of legs.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So someone asked us, they said, is mind to muscle connection important?
Absolutely.
I thought I answered that. I ain't answered that.
Yeah, it's absolutely important. It is arguably, when you're training, the most important thing. You know, and there's little things that can create and stimulate. Like I have a client, he's 83, early onset Alzheimer's, and he started off with me writing with a challenge because of resting tremors. You know, eating with a challenge, but doing simple exercises to help increase that mind-muscle connection. Close your eyes, sir. Thumb to pinky. Thumb to index finger. Thumb to ring finger. Little exercises like that help increase the neuromuscular connectivity to help improve your quality of life. Now he's doing planks, push-ups, sit-ups, and
it's like
eating and feeding.
So in that case, his coordination really improved, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's neurological coordination on how to recruit fibers.
Sure.
Stuff.
And that's the key.
Right.
The recruiting of fibers, you know, part of the study in exercise therapy is you're literally changing the shape of your brain as you get stronger.
Right.
Because as you get stronger, you increase that muscle tissue, you have to create nerve endings in the muscle tissue, right? Because it's growing. But those nerve endings in the muscle tissue have to have a corresponding place in your brain.
Yeah.
So you're literally making yourself stronger and a better brain by training. That's not BS.
That's science.
That's basics, you know, rudimentary science when it comes to this. And if we can increase that just 1% every day, I can't say we can reverse the aging process, but we can damn sure slow it down.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of the aging process comes along with naturally as you age, you lose muscle tissue.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can slow that whole process down, then that's definitely going to change the chronological order of things,
Sure.
right? Because if we maintain more muscle tissue, our bodies need to have testosterone is increased.
Mm-hmm.
Our body's bone density is increased.
Yep.
Our body's rest metabolism is increased. The reason we, even secrete IGF-1 and growth hormone, all these hormones that are anabolic, is based on the amount of muscle tissue we're carrying. Right?
Correct.
So, I agree with you on that 100%. Now, if you're an athlete, though, how important is muscle to mind connection to translate from lifting to translate into your sport?
So, as an athlete, your coach has to be the one that's going to design, first of all, a plan that's going to aid you in the sport that you're playing, right? You know, if you're playing football, then you need to be squat, you need to be deadlift, because it's a leg-dominant sport if you're playing majority of positions, right? Outside of maybe quarterback, everything else is really a leg-dominant position. So you need to have a strong connectivity in how far your legs are moving when you're moving.
Right. That's a good point.
And how fast your fast twitch muscles are. So your explosiveness is going to be, trump pretty much brute strength. Because brute strength, the technique is going to beat brute strength every single time, at least at a higher level. Right. So knowing what exercises you're doing and what routines you're doing, they're going to be very, very repetitive, in my opinion.
Sure.
And they are going to be specifically targeted to a certain group. Like basketball players are going to train way different than football players.
Sure.
Right.
So at that point, it becomes not necessarily. It's more like how efficient can I become at each movement?
Absolutely. 1,000,000,000%.
Like if I can, how much can I get out of as little effort to be as explosive as possible?
Yes, I believe so.
Right. What do you think, Mr. ACS and CSCS? Right, but what I'm saying is, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. What I'm saying to you is, if I'm Ray Lewis, the goal is to be so good at squats, so good at power cleans, so good at lunges and jump squats and all that stuff that I am performing as efficiently, optimized as possible. So I'm recruiting those muscle tissues as quickly as possible. right? Because I'm so good at the movements, and so efficient at the movements, that it doesn't even take me the same amount of energy as that guy who's doing it twice a week because I'm doing it 4 days a week.
Bingo. And Ray Lewis is also a martial artist too, so that matters too.
Ray Lewis is a freak.
and
Any man that tears his tricep and continues to play, that's a freak.
And that's and we make sure we make that delineation, folks. Is those type of athletes who are playing in NFL or playing in NBA basketball, while we're watching on TV, it seems like it's normal. There are 1,600 people playing in the NFL in the world. There are 535 basketball players in the world that play in the NBA. Yeah. So while we're watching it on TV and we recognize that yes, they're tremendous athletes, blah blah. No, they really are tremendous athletes.
No, I mean even the guy sitting on the bench in the pros was a star, an absolute star in college, right? So, I mean that's without question. And it's no different with like bodybuilding, I mean, the bodybuilders that make it to the next level are all hyper responders.
Absolutely.
Right, like they respond better to everything. They can train less, respond more. Like even like people talk about people that are not genetically gifted. Like Branch Warren will say he wasn't genetically gifted, but he was, because here's the thing: he's not genetically gifted with aesthetics, but his ability to endure pain,
iron and endure pain
at the highest level, to be able to say, I am going to overcome this amount of lactic acid that's going to come along with squatting 500 pounds 15 times over and over and over again and be loving it while he's doing it. That is genetically superior to most people. That kind of will is genetically superior. You can't coach that. You have to have that, right?
Either you do or you don't.
And then, Branch, I love you, but them legs are genetically gifted, because those legs are fucking crazy. So, though he may not have aesthetics, he was absolutely genetically gifted in areas of his body.
Right.
And then when him and I had talked about, supplement usage, it's not anything crazy.
Right.
It's very basic. But, you talk to some guys in the gym that are state level and you go, you taking all that?
Yeah.
Like, just stop. Quit now.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't take that much. And then how you respond to the diet,
that's the part that people don't recognize. That in my opinion, like when I am 100% on my diet, it's remarkable how fast my body will change. You saw it, So,
yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. Like, people are like, damn, weren't you just? And it's
exactly.
Like, my body changes very quickly. And once I get it going, I can eat a lot more food than the average person too, right? So my body, it's like, we're growing into this show. Like, we're rounder, we're fuller. And, I just had 50 grams of carbs yesterday and I still got a crazy pump today when I was training. So, like my body responds ridiculously to the stuff. And it's the ability to have the will to push through the pain.
That's the key.
That allows the elite to really become elite, right? Because you can have great genetics, and that's why you don't have to take much. That's why you get
will.
And there's a lot of people with great genetics.
And poor will.
But I think that's the difference in like bodybuilding. Is just one of those things where if you don't have that will, you can forget about it.
And that's where we're in bodybuilding. We talk about the brain will quit long before your body will. You can be dead and your heart still beat. They can keep you alive, right? But if your mind doesn't allow you to push past that level 8, 9 on pain,
Yeah, we were sitting there today, and we're leg pressing, and I'm looking, and my legs just won't move, and I'm like, it's the thought pattern of, man, fuck this. I know I'm better than this. I know I'm better than this, and then all of a sudden I pump out 5 more. It's like, it's being able to will yourself into that last 5 or 6 reps that most people stop at.
Tom Platz. There's always 5 more reps in the gym.
Right.
Always 5 more reps.
Yes, and he's not wrong, because here's the thing. You fail momentarily, and if you just can catch your resolve, breathe a couple deep breaths, and it's like you can bang out 2 or 3 more.
Yep.
And being able to do that is a key to success in this business.
That's with anything, to tell you the truth. Whether it's sales, whether it's lifting weights, whether it's loving your kids, whatever it is, that 1% additional effort. You know, when I taught my sales guys when I was you do such things, it was always one more call.
Yeah.
It's always one more call.
Yeah.
That one more minute that makes the difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's how many times did you call? Did you literally pick up the phone and call 100 people a day?
Yeah.
If you didn't, then you weren't successful.
Right. Right.
You know, but the guys who consistently sold 20 widgets, 25 widgets every single month, making 200 grand a year, they were the ones who made that extra call.
And when you get really good at it, or you're that guy that's going to continue with the same system,
right?
Regardless of how much success you have, right?
That's right.
Because that's what I find with training is people get booked, people have an outstanding month, and then they slow down.
Of course they do.
So how can
nature.
Right, so how do you continue to push at the same level regardless of the result? Effort over outcome, right?
So that's and that's the gate. That's the success gate. It's then it becomes, like you said earlier, it's the optimization. It's how do we maximize our time? You know, I know that there's only one Walter, right? And I know that I could probably, with technology, run 200 clients a month. But am I making meaningful relationships with those 200 people a month where I can get the most out of them during the course of that month?
Right.
And the honest answer is probably no.
No, absolutely.
But that's where I have to be able to develop other people. Have the processes in place. Have the training systems in place. Show folks what to look for with every single client. Leave detailed notes, but make sure that there's no drop off if I'm not available, right? And have the system set up so the next person leave detailed notes. Because if I died on the way home, there has to be something in place.
Yeah.
Because the business has to keep running.
Right. So it has to be a consistent system.
So nothing drops off. Exactly.
So that it can be duplicated some way. If not, because no one's going to duplicate you exactly.
Right.
But if there's certain bullet points that they can follow to say, we warm up like this, we train like this, we want to hit these points during the workout.
Exactly.
And you know, when you're getting to know the person, this is how you're going to do basic connection with them, right?
Exactly.
And it's right. Yeah. So I understand that. But back to the mind and muscle connection. I think here it is right here. This is the difference between all other sports and why it's so important for bodybuilding. Everybody that lifts moves weight. Powerlifting, they move weight. They try and move the maximum amount of weight possible with as much force as possible. And powerlifters are very dense, but they don't look anywhere near as round or as full as bodybuilders, right? Pound for pound, you take a 300-pound powerlifter or a 250-pound bodybuilder, the bodybuilder's gonna look bigger, right? So what you have to ask yourself is why? Because the same way we lift light weights is the same way you need to lift heavy weights, right? Like I can make heavy weights look light, I can make light weights look heavy. It's about feeling and contracting the muscle with every single repetition. It's not about just moving it. You have to feel it. And you wanna use enough force to stimulate the higher threshold fibers, but you still gotta control it, right? So even when I'm doing 7 or 8 plates on a hack squat, it's still a very controlled negative, explosive positive. Very controlled negative, explosive positive. Because if I just start going, well, with that kind of weight injury can happen.
Yep.
But 2, I'm missing a whole lot of muscle that I could be targeting.
So
because I'm using momentum and not muscle tissue and not contraction.
So explain eccentric, concentric with regards to using hack squat, for instance.
Right. So when I'm stretching or descending through the motion, that would be my eccentric. As I'm ascending or shortening the muscle, that's when I'm going to be concentric. And if I put a pause in there, that's going to be like an isometric contraction. Right.
So that matters especially as a bodybuilder. Every movement, nothing. There is. I can't think of any that you're just going to pump it out. You know, unless you're doing at the end of a workout, you're doing a burnout set for something.
I mean, there's a time and a place,
right. ordinarily it's
Right. Yeah.
1, 2, 3 on the curl, 1, 2, 3 on the down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about the eccentric
Right.
because that's where most people miss out.
Right.
Most people are good with concentric and feeling it,
Mm-hmm.
but that eccentric is what goes missing, and that you're 70% stronger in your eccentric than you are your concentric. So you're missing out on a whole lot of muscle growth, on a whole lot of strength gain by not paying attention to the eccentric portion of the
Bingo.
repetition. So that's why you see things like 5-second negative, 3-second negatives. It's not, it makes the rep harder, but it also forces you to control it.
That's the key. You know, like you said, anybody can swing a weight, but under control,
Right.
avoiding the injury. You know, the science says you're less likely to hurt yourself if you are moving the barbell or the dumbbell under control every single time.
Sure.
You know, that's the benefit of bands or cables even, right? Because they force you to use both sides of the movement, not just one or the other.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I mean, if you know, for those that don't understand, banded squats, banded bench press, you can use a band on anything. But if I hook it to a hammer strength and I use a band, I can't just go like this. Because when I go like this, it's going to snap me back into place, so I'm not controlling it.
That's right.
So I need to control it through, and now what happens is that band gives you more resistance at the peak contraction of the movement. So I really got to force myself, because when you're doing movements, all movements have a curve, right? And there's a point where you're going to get the highest amount of resistance, and then it's going to drop off. With the band, you're keeping the resistance more stable throughout. Yes. So it's the constant. That's great. Great way to put it. Yeah, absolutely. So
we're not just making shit up when we want to get you to change how you think about your workouts. There's actually science behind this mind-muscle connection.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the mind-muscle connection is always important, but there's no absolutes. If you train like that all the time, you're missing out on that portion where you need to really create strength, right?
Right.
And power.
Yep.
But if you set your program so that 75% of it is centered around, I'm gonna feel what I'm doing, or like when you're setting up a program, you wanna say to yourself, okay, I got 3 months. This is my mesocycle. I got 4 mesocycles to a year. What portion of my training am I gonna fit all the tempo work in? What portion am I going to fit the explosive work in? What portion of my cycle am I going to fit the dynamic work, like in the maximizing work? Like, you need all of it. You need all of it to perform at your highest level. You need all of it in order to create the physique that's going to be very symmetrical, very proportionate, and be able to perform well. So, you know, you need all of those components. So it's not, you can't be a one-trick pony, because at that point you're leaving something, you know, something off. So like that's again part of the reason why his mentoring, my mentoring, you know, working with someone that really understands why programming is important.
That's it.
Yeah. So, you know, and not just like, I have a fighter I'm working with right now, and he was working with some high-level fighters on Saturday. And he was so excited because he's not even close, like he's not even the same person he was a year ago when we started working out. So he's working with these high-level fighters, and I came in the day and I was excited. I was like, how did it go? And he goes, it's crazy. He's like, I'm snatching these guys' legs and they don't know what to do with the power. They have no clue what to do with the power, because he's the same weight, he's just a lot more powerful. But here's the key. He has no joint pain from the training. No injuries, no strains, nothing from the training. And when I tell you he's so much stronger, when I got him, he could barely do dips. Now we're dipping 30 reps with double, triple chains. Wow. No exaggeration. When I got him, we couldn't even bench 155. He's benching over 3 something now, you know?
Wow.
When I got him, we could barely squat 225, and he's squatting over 315 deep, clean reps. You know, so the thing is, his strength has increased exponentially. His Pentley row strength, his pull-up strength, like pull-ups, we're talking about like 5 or 6 pull-ups. Now this man is doing 50 pull-ups in 3 sets with a chain. Like it's nuts how much stronger he is. And you know what the key is? His will is fucking sick. Like this man, like when he starts to fail, he acts like he's an animal. He pictures an animal, which is funny because I have this pit bull right here on my arm, and that's why I put it there, because this pit bull is what I used to envision when I would powerlift. Like a pit bull can run through anything, cut through anything, bite through anything, and that's what I envision when I'm on the platform, because I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna kill this weight. This weight is not gonna stop me, you know?
Yeah, that was, I don't envision animals. I find the rhythm. You know, I don't, like, my biggest thing in powerlifting is the bench press for reps. That's my, find the rhythm and keep going. You know, I did 225, 30 reps in comp, and that was enough to secure a pretty decent record.
Right.
And at 26, 27 reps, that lactic acid really starts to start kicking up. And, you know, in comp, you know, you got to push all the way up, lock all the way out. You know, anybody can sit in the gym, burp them out. But when you get a full extension and all the way back down,
makes a big difference.
That makes a tremendous difference. And I don't have little short arms. This is 3 feet up, 3 feet down. That's a long way.
Yeah, if you want to know what a difference that makes, go in the gym and just do this little trick to the next time you bench, whether it's on a machine or a barbell. Do this little trick. Come down and just pause right above the chest. Don't let it sit on the chest. Right above the chest for 2 seconds, and then explode up and extend for a second. And really 2 and 1. And really just do that for every repetition. Your reps will drop by 20%, and you'll be like, holy shit, how much more you feel it. Because most people don't train like that. Again, they hear. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with training like this, but every once in a while, you need to add in that stretch. You need to add in that full contraction, because every part of the muscle, all lengths of the muscle need work.
That's right.
They need stimulation, right?
So, I agree 1,000,000%.
Yeah, so you have to add all that in. It cannot be the same all the time, because the body's main goal is to do what? Adapt.
That's it.
To keep us safe, to keep us in homeostasis. It will adapt to whatever you put it through, and then you have to constantly create new stimulus, new nuances to keep it responding and improving. So when people come to you and they say, I want to bulk, right? What criteria do you look for?
So I've got to be honest, I've only had 2 people, right, that ever said that.
Okay.
Because most of my people, like I told you before, they're lifestyle folks. They're trying to go the other direction.
Right.
But one of the clients that I had, her job required her to lose a lot of weight to fit into a role for her job. And it put her in a very bad depression. I mean, she was like 95 pounds when that.
Hi, Rashad.
And you're just saying hi.
I'm just saying hi. You're over there rubbing your hands like you're putting lotion on. I didn't know what you're doing.
I'm over there, bro. It's not Tuesday, bro. It's not Tuesday. So, you know, and the contract was I had to get her back to 135 pounds.
Yeah.
And theoretically, oh my God, just feed her and be done. But you can't, because that's unhealthy. You can't just dump a bunch of food in somebody and expect it to 1 stick, and 2, they'd be able to handle it. So it's one of those things where I just work backwards. I took 3,500 calories, 4 pounds, and multiplied out times 35. Okay, we're gonna have that much surplus over the course of 60 and 90 days, and then kind of divided it out and increased each week along the way. And was it a bulk? I guess technically it is a bulk.
It's a bulk. But
it's a return to normal, right? Because when you're 5'2" and 95 pounds, it's just not enough weight.
Yeah. Sounds like what we grew up with.
Right?
Yeah, before they knew it was cool to be thick. No.
Yeah.
Me. So when clients come to me and they want to bulk, I first look at their body fat, because the problem with most people when they say they want to bulk is they're already fat. And if they're carrying too much body fat, your body's not going to bulk effectively, right? Because what's going to end up happening is when you carry too much body fat, what's also happening? Typically, your insulin sensitivity is not great, right? So your ability to consume a lot of food without storing fat becomes is not as optimized. Typically, when people are carrying too much fat, the body already feels heavy, so it's therefore less anabolic. Your testosterone to estrogen ratio when you're carrying too much body fat is off, right? Because with fat we correlate with more estrogen. So I always encourage dropping the body fat down to a level where you can see some abs, and then starting a bulk from there. Because at that point, typically hormonal profile is optimized. Your metabolism is optimized. Your not your blood sugar, but your body's ability, your insulin sensitivity is improved. All of these things that help your body consume more calories without gaining fat. 'Cause I mean, think about it after a show, right? Like everything is optimized after a show because you're leaner, you've been eating perfectly, you've been doing cardio consistently. Your body is like, if this person feeds me, I'm overcompensating and storing everything into the muscle. And if you do it properly, you really won't gain that much fat for a while. You really kind of come back and if you're training with it, you're gaining muscle. So you try and create that atmosphere as close to that as possible by bringing people's body fat down first and then starting to bulk them. And that approach has worked very successfully for me because I used to just say, you want to bulk? Awesome. Elevate the calories 15% and let's start eating. What I found is the amount of body fat people were putting on along with muscle. By the time you lose the body fat, when they get to show prep, it negated the muscle you're putting on anyway. So I found that, hey, if we stay leaner, add muscle tissue, you can still add pretty quickly, but after we've gotten lean, so you're taking 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, because most people that are gonna even talk about bulking, they're not carrying that much body fat, right? Like they might be, if a guy might be at like 15 to 20%, a female might be somewhere in that 20 to 25% range. So you're just talking about getting your females at 18, your men down to 10%, which typically you can do within that 6 to 8 week period. So, and then I'll start truly just driving the calories, But that's kind of how I approach it. What was that last one? Ishkabibbles. All right, you're gonna cut that part out. So, Walter, someone actually asked me. I thought that was good, right? That was good, right? I mean, someone actually asked me, what equipment do I need to bring to the gym with me?
Good question.
It is kind of a good question. I was like, well, how old are they? Because how long they've been lifting? How old are they?
All that matters. But there's certain things that, for me, it doesn't matter now because I just bring all my shit.
You got an aggressive bag there. I mean, fuck around, find out. I mean, you look very violent there.
I am.
With your bag, You look like you ready to go into war.
Wrist straps.
Yeah.
Done.
Definitely. That's a must. For me, it's a must because I have injuries to my wrist.
Belt.
That's a boonty belt.
Yeah, well, it works. Because my leather one won't fit in the bag. I can't stress enough how important headphones are.
Yeah. For not knowing this question, you came very prepared for it.
I know, right? Look. So my headphones.
You're not recording. It's a great question.
My headphones. Listen. I always have headphones because one of them is always dead.
That looks like different size vibrators.
They are. You didn't know? My secret out, bro. So yeah, that's that stuff. And then so something that's new for me.
Oh yes.
Something that's new for me.
Amen. Yes.
It's
knee sleeves.
And I have elbow sleeves.
Change your life.
Listen, and I thought those was for suckers, bro. Right? He said, nah, raw. Yeah, no, I'm old. No.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then finally, straps. Right. So I have wrist straps for pressing. Wrist straps for pulling. Right. Save your grip strength.
Not really wrist straps.
Straps. Yeah. Whatever. Straps. What else I got in here? This bonus stuff. Bonus stuff.
Wipes.
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 Bonus stuff. So I use these if it's a really hard workout and I'm leaving. I don't like my car to smell funky. So I try to wipe a little bit because I don't shower at the gym.
That's funny. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Other than that,
where you clean underwear at, bro? See,
I wasn't gonna go there, but they in there.
Yeah, see, bring clean underwear because let me tell you something. If you work out hard enough and you keep wait until you get home, get a shower and change your underwear, you be fucked up.
So you itching. They in there. They in there. So those are my that's in the bag, bro.
Yeah, I mean I'm with you, man. I always have my straps. I always have my wrist wraps, my music. You know, for me, like music is it's almost
it's a must.
It's a must, yeah. Cause you never know what the gym's playing.
It doesn't matter what the gym's playing.
And
I
like to be in my ear and really just find a song for me that really gets me. I mean, that's part of me getting through that pain.
Now, are you a same song for the harder set type of guy?
I have a one go-to. My go-to is by Jadakiss. Oh man, what's that song called? It's called Me. By Jadakiss. That's a go-to. The Roy Jones one.
I got one go-to right now. Dreams and Nightmares.
Is that Meek Mills?
That is my go-to. The minute the piano comes on in the very beginning,
yeah,
that gets me to warm up. I'm literally wrapping my wrist. I
feel you.
Get my breath right, and then.
Yeah. You know where I'm using music all the time now is when I do my high intensity cardio.
Okay.
Like EDM music saves me during my high intensity cardio. Yeah, because you gave me some video to watch and that was not it. I was watching, I mean, these guys are sightseeing. I'm doing that high intensity cardio. Like, I need the music to kick.
Oh, you doing well? It's just a cycle.
Yeah, no. I'm doing this high intensity cardio, man, and if I don't have the music, I am lost in the sauce, man. It is terrible.
Well, for a bike ride, it's different. If I'm doing a bike ride, then I'm going to ride along and crank it up when it tells me to crank it up. But my background in my basement where I do my cardio, I have David Goggins, shout out to Stay Hard, and whatever the video is on. But Goggins tells me I'm a weak suck every single time. So yeah. I'm gonna push raw to prove him wrong every single time.
Well, so I'm doing motivation and bodybuilding motivation stuff during that period when I have my moderate ride.
Sure.
So like right now I'm at 3 minutes moderate, 2 minutes hard.
Okay.
But that 2 minutes hard has got to be music for me.
Okay.
Whether it's Baltimore Club, EDM, Diplo,
got it.
You know that style, Ike, you know, whatever. All those. That's yeah. That's the kind of stuff I need. I'd be trying to listen to hip hop and it just don't work. It's too slow.
I just need
too slow.
Like I can do like it's kind of like when I'm working on reps. It's if I can find something that just keeps me in the same headspace,
right?
I can keep going.
Yeah. Which is that, and it's like when I'm doing that, I'm trying to
that type of stuff.
I'm trying to pedal to that, right? Well, I used to dance to that stuff too, right? So I love it, but you're hitting the pedal every time that beat hits, and it's like faster, and it doesn't allow me to slow down, you know. So, what do you listen to? Because you're doing high intensity cardio right now.
Especially for head, like the way I'm doing it. You're on a bike, so if I was on a bike,
I was on elliptical today, arc trainer.
You're on the machine.
Yeah.
So same thing.
Same machine. Don't make me look weak.
You're on the machine.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm outside, so I'm running and looking at something different every time. So if I just have something in my ear to distract what's around me, I really don't care. But now, if I'm doing sprinting on that, like I used to, club music, depends on definitely Jersey club music, stuff like that.
Your arms look really big today.
Following my diet. But yeah, so right now it's just whatever YouTube video that I have in my watch later, and it's just in my ear. Kind of listen to it, kind of not. It's just noise.
Elmo, are you following your diet? No.
No, sir.
Why not?
Too much much food right now.
Send them down to Classic Man Fitness. We'll take care of them right down the right butterfly effect, bro. We get you embrace your metamorphosis. Come on down, bro.
Oh, see, you
Come
can't
on down, bro.
steal the clients that are here.
I ain't stealing them, bro.
No, you can't. You know, you can't promote yourself to him. You know, like he's here with me. No, I'm glad.
I'll even say your subs. I'll say you all your big sports subs you need. I got you.
I'll pass on.
Oh man.
Don't cut that part out. Don't cut that part out.
So what? So what else is going on, man? What we missing out there? What else is going on?
You know, there's
Orlando Pro's coming up this weekend.
Orlando Pro's coming up this weekend.
Team Universe coming up this weekend.
It is.
We got
Miss America in 17 weeks.
we need to start really
That's
doing
what
this.
I'm doing.
Yeah, that's we need to do it. So you know, shout out to my man Paul Davis. He went to my man is 61 years old. Went and took second in the Open Heavies this past weekend at the Garden
Wow.
State, which is no shabby show. And he looked great. And we get ready to go up there and win this pro card for the 60 and up Masters this weekend in Teaneck, New Jersey. So we're trying to hit that IFBB pro card for him. He looks better now in the 60s than he did at 50, which is crazy. And I mean, it is no secret why he does so well though, right? Because never any excuses. I mean, like that's like the main key between the people that do well and the people that don't, no matter what coach you work for. Like, you know, oh, my coach didn't do this, my coach didn't, like, where's your level of focus at?
Accountability.
Yeah, like someone goes like, I mean, like I've had my coach take 2 days to get back to me because he was traveling. I mean, when you work with a higher level coach, he might be traveling to this country, that country. And he hits me back and he says, Fred, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get back to you. I'm like, no worries, I'm just doing what you told me to do. I'm just on it, right? Because if I don't deviate, if I don't change, like as long as I do the plan, I'm not gonna get fatter, I'm gonna get better, right? So, you know, and I don't use it as an excuse to, well, you didn't get back to me, so I had something. You didn't get back to me, so I changed this. Like, none of that. I just do what I'm supposed to do. And I'm not
change them, keep it the same.
Yeah, like and you know, like the also the difference is you get ready for a show. That means you don't do things that disrupt your prep. Like for instance, it may not be a great idea to party consistently while you're prepping.
Probably not a good idea.
Right? It's probably not a good idea to go on a cruise while you're prepping. I've done it. I did okay while I was on the cruise and then fucked up when I got off the cruise, go figure. But like I had an opportunity to go on a cruise this summer. I said, you know what, it's not conducive to me doing really well. And the thing is, you're sacrificing time, money, and other things while you're getting ready for a show anyway. So why not do everything to be your best at the show? Like when you when I was at the highest level of my career, we travel all the time. But a couple things you gotta do. Where's the gym? Do they have a microwave and a fridge in my room? Do I have access to the foods I need? If not, am I bringing the foods I need? These are all things I'm checking out before I go. I mean, I got people that come to me and go, where am I supposed to get this food at? Like, how did you not check that before you set up this vacation?
Why wouldn't you just freeze it and put it in a separate suitcase and take it with you?
Easy, right?
Bruh.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, just, you know, like people make things.
When we went to Vegas, my aunt called me, Walter, what do I need to have in the refrigerator for you?
Right.
You had the best ground turkey soup.
I did, but that was
Two servings.
It was good for me. but the point is, you made the necessary accommodations to make sure you have what you needed. So whatever it's going to be, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just make sure you have what you need to have.
Right.
Prepared, right. And that's what blows my mind. Like people are like getting ready for a show. Like we're not talking about lifestyle. Like you want to get better, lose some body fat, feel better about yourself. Like absolutely. You shouldn't have to pack your food for that because it's about lifestyle and how you're going to live. But we're doing a sport.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're doing a sport. Like if you play football recreationally, then hey, don't sleep the night before, party with your friends and go out and play recreational football. But if you're playing in a league that has championships involved and all that kind of stuff and you're
going to play.
Then
Get your sleep.
you would not sleep the night before. You wouldn't go out and go skiing the night before the championship game. And it's the same type of things. Like, if you're serious about this, and you're doing a show. If you're a person that's doing 1 or 2 shows a year, arguably, let's see, 50 is 42. So you arguably have 38 weeks out of the year, right? No, 37 weeks out of the year where you don't have to worry about being perfect. But that other 16 weeks, you need to be perfect, right? Yeah. So the point is, when you're getting ready for something, prepare yourself. Don't put yourself in situations where you're going to fail. If you know you're not good with going out and staying true to the diet, don't go out.
Wow.
Right? If you know you might be out longer than you think, pack your meals and take them with you. Like, don't set you up. Like, failing when you're competing is a choice. It's a choice because you know in your mind, if I'm going out with my family, and you know you're gonna need 2 meals, why wouldn't you pack the third just in case you need it? Just in case, right? Because in your mind, you're like, subconsciously, well, if I don't have the third one, I'll just go to a restaurant and get this because it tastes better than when I bring it myself, right? Like, you're giving yourself an excuse to fail. And that's what kills most people when they diet. It's like they allow for little loopholes in the diet subconsciously. Like, I'm not going to cheat, but if I happen to have to cheat.
And that's I think that's the Goggins mentality too. It's people today are really punks, bro. Like just overall, no one's willing to suffer. No one's willing to suffer.
No one likes to suffer.
That little bit. If you can suffer in bodybuilding for 4 months, you'll win.
And the thing,
if you're willing to suffer.
But here's the thing, honestly, and this is the crazy part about it. It doesn't become suffering because you get used to it.
Right.
Like,
embrace the suck.
Like, if I start training legs twice a week, when we first started doing that, I was like, man, this is gonna be hard. And then I'm like, how the hell am I gonna do this high intensity cardio after doing hard leg days, right? So subconsciously, you're saying to yourself, your brain's telling you, maybe you don't need to do this last set to failure because you got all this cardio days.
Bingo.
And you have to say, shut the fuck up. I got to do everything 100%. So live in the moment.
That's it.
If I don't live in the moment, I'm thinking about how am I going to do this later? How am I going to do this later? How am I going to do this later? I am subconsciously not going to give 100%.
Sabotaging yourself.
I'm sabotaging myself the whole time. It's like I have somebody like, Fred, can you dial me into the show? Sure. But you never send me pictures. You never send pictures. And then you send me a text that says, I hope I'm not the skinniest man on stage. Well, their way to ensure that would be send your fucking pictures. Like, I don't even understand. Like, Krista asks me for pictures every day. And yeah, sure, sometimes it's annoying, sometimes you don't feel it. But you know what? The accountability is unbelievable. And it's like, you just do it. There's no thought. You just do it. You just do it. And I don't understand why people self-sabotage all the time. All the time. They self-sabotage. It's like, it's going to be tough, but it's even tougher when your coach has to make up shit. Like, if you just follow the diet 100%, most likely you're not going to have to do 0 carb days. If you just follow the diet 100% from day one and give 100% effort on your cardio, give 100% effort when you train, give 100% to trying to get some rest, give 100% to not using fucking condiments that are 15 calories that cause your body to not be burning as much fat because it tastes a little better that day, then guess what? You don't have to do extremes throughout the diet. You just cruise along, right? And it's like, it's discipline either way, but why make it harder on yourself?
And people talk, it's that condiment piece too. People don't even understand.
Man.
And then what's really crazy is people don't know that the FDA, these motherfuckers, if it's less than 5 calories, it says 0. So, your 0 calorie dressing sauce is really 4 calories. And we know you're not measuring it.
Nope.
Because it says 0. Oh,
Yep.
0 calories. It's got volume, it's got mass. If it's not water, it's got calories.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Am I right?
Absolutely.
So everything costs. You know, the Japanese have a saying, doing something costs something. Doing nothing costs something.
Absolutely.
More than not, doing nothing costs more than doing something. So do work.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sucks. And at first it's gonna suck a lot. But it
But
ain't.
like for me, like it doesn't like. I mean, when I'm hungry, it's all like, what window are you looking out of?
Mm-hmm.
When you're starving, when you're tired, are you saying to yourself, I'm getting better? Or are you saying to yourself, why am I doing it? Because if you're saying to yourself, why you're doing it, then you're gonna be all fucked up because it's just too hard. You're mentally creating more stress on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're saying to yourself, I love this, I know I'm getting better right now.
That's it.
I know when I get up for the 5th time a night to piss, it interrupts my sleep, but I know I'm burning more fat.
That means I'm not storing extra calories,
Yeah.
carbohydrates, and doing the right thing.
And when I'm sitting there and I'm starving at night, and I'm like, oh my God, like I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight. I say to myself, I know I'm gonna look fucking awesome
Get some
tomorrow.
blue heat. That's what you say.
Amen. But no, like I'm like literally, like tomorrow I'm gonna look that much better.
Yeah.
Hunger gains, right? Hunger change. Like all of these things that are uncomfortable, you know you're gonna look better the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're gonna look better. And it's like, why does that not drive people? Because if you're doing a show, it's to win, right? If you're doing a show, it's to be absolutely shredded, right? So all these things are gonna make you better.
But see, people don't operate in that space to win. They operate in the space of to be good enough.
Well, then just be good enough and go to the beach and look awesome. Like, you know,
That's all they care about, just being good enough. That's all people care about.
Yeah.
It's just good enough. That's the, and that is the killer of all success.
right,
Is just to be good enough.
right. And to be clear, let me be clear this. I have clients that compete, and if they don't win, that's not that is not what deters me. That is not what determines whether I'm proud of the prep. I've had clients win and not been proud of their prep, right? Because they're genetically gifted, but I know they didn't give half the work or effort that they could have done. But when I have a client that maybe doesn't win, but he or she puts all their effort, all their energy, and is absolutely locked in, I'm so proud of them. Because everyone is genetically not going to be gifted. So it may take a little longer for them to get to the winner's circle, right? Everyone is not going to step on stage the first time and be like, hey, I'm made for this. Some people have to grow into this. Some people have to change. Their body has to change dramatically in order for them to get there. And
Like
that doesn't mean they're not going to be a champion. It just means that it might take a little more time, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's okay. That's okay. Like, I mean, Ronnie was a pro for years
Samson Dotto was a pro for years, bro.
before he became a champion. It doesn't matter. He's still champion. Same outcome.
You got them gold. You got
So-
them chains. That's it.
Right. And that's that mental strength to keep going, right? That
Yeah, 'cause he
mental
could've quit.
endurance.
He could have quit.
So it's not just enough to have mental strength. Like anybody can have mental strength one day. That mental strength for a period of time, the endurance that it takes to be great at this thing.
That's the separation.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you apply it to
That's
any part of your
separation.
life. You apply it to any part of your life, it's gonna fucking work.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, building business, right? When I thought about when I was ready to buy a gym, was it December last year?
Yeah. We were talking about
5 months?
it. Yeah. When you really decided.
Yeah.
When you really said, I'm doing this. Because once you put it in your brain that you're really doing it, not like I want to,
No.
not like I feel like it, but I'm doing it.
5 months.
Yeah, it happens that way. Like that's why you got to be careful what you really wish for, right? That's why you be
160 days, bro.
careful what you pray for, because when you really believe it and you really know it, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
And that's the part, you know, that a lot of people miss. Oh my God, you know, you're so lucky, no, cuz this shit wasn't luck. Don't
No.
insult me.
No,
I busted my ass.
absolutely. You start putting things in place to
Put
get
it
to
in
that
place
point.
to
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw.
Absolutely.
This is it.
Absolutely.
You know, and that is the difference in this sport. I think we hammer this home every time. The difference between bodybuilding or powerlifting and every other sport is it's literally only you versus you. It's a player. It's you. It's not about anybody else. Because when you were talking about just a minute ago, I'm hungry. What I'm gonna do? But nah, cuz it's that fucking one meal. It's that meal that you cheated on that your competitor didn't.
Yeah.
And that's why they won.
Yeah, it's funny because son said to me, "Dad, it's just one fry," and my daughter's like, "Christian, one fry is one too many," and and I love, and my son is usually keeps me in point, but he wanted me to try something because he had it.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughter's mentality, it's so consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my daughter that's a champion, and well, both my daughters are champion. Monica's won both her shows. But my daughter who is doing horseback riding,
Mm-hmm.
that's the way she is. She misses one jump, I got to do it again. She misses a turn, a canter, a lead, any of that, she's got to do it again. She's got to do it again. And she'll stay out there and do it and hammer it until it's right. And yesterday morning, it's like 90 degrees outside. She's riding this horse, there's flies everywhere, and they drilled this course for over 20 minutes, over and over. And it doesn't sound like a long time, but that's a long time in that heat on that horse, drilling this course over and over, because it's a 3 to 4 minute course that she's doing. And the trainer's like, "Alana, if you don't need to do it again, it's okay. If you can't do it again," she's like, "I'm doing it. I'm doing it." And she does not let up on herself at all. It's crazy. And like one story, and this is just defines her to a T. We made top 5 at the medal regionals, which is unheard of for somebody at her barn. It's so unheard of, top 4, sorry. It's so unheard of that her trainer didn't even prepare her for the last part, which is why we don't have this trainer anymore. Didn't prepare her for the last part because she had never had anybody make it to the top 4. So you got 2 rounds, everybody gets a chance to do. After that 2 rounds, they cut it from 16 to 4. She had never had anybody make it past 8th. So Alana makes it to 4th. Well, actually, after the 2 rounds, Alana was in 2nd. She's the youngest rider there. All these other girls are 16, 17, my daughter's 12. And at the time, she was 11. So we're talking, we're waiting. She's like, "Yeah, I don't think I want to go back to Best," which is another series that she was also competing in, had the option to compete in that weekend. She goes, "Because I'm doing really good here, so I'm good." Well, she's top 4, regardless. She can't get any less than top 4. Well, she had in her mind that she had a chance to win, but she messed up one part because they hadn't practiced it. She comes off and she's just like, not throwing stuff, very respectful, holds her head high, her chin high, accepts her awards. They got some really cool awards, by the way. Takes her pictures with the horse and everything. Me and her mom present her with her awards. It's a big event, right? Hundreds of people there, they're watching and everything. We get back to the van, falls apart crying, "I'm going back to Best. We got to go back to Best right now." And I'm like, "Honey, you said you didn't want to go?" She's like, "I got to fucking win this afternoon." Not fuck, but "I got to win this afternoon, Dad. I got to win." No, in her mind, she said, but she said, "I got to win this afternoon." And damn it if she didn't go there and swept the entire show that afternoon. Right? She just competed for 2 hours that morning. We get lunch, she goes back to Best, which is a 2-hour drive down to Best, and she sweeps the whole show. And she's like, "Next year I'm going back and I'm winning that thing." And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
11 years old at the time, wow. That's all I can say is wow. And when I'm in here training, I draw on that inspiration because I'm like, 11 years old with that kind of resolve, that kind of will, like that's what I want to. She's showing me an example.
Right.
It's awesome, man.
That's the gate.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to see that in her because I know what that's like. It's like the year I did the Arnold, 2014. I got last, and the judges were like, "Maybe you should not do the Australia," because it was a week later. And I was like, yeah, I'm listening to him, but I'm not listening to him. I'm like, I'm doing the Australian, I'm gonna come back better. And I went from last to 6th at that show, and it was the same lineup. So I went from 14th to 6th. And they were like, "What did you do this week?" And I'm like, "I just did everything harder." Like when I got on the plane to go to Australia, I literally couldn't even lift my head. But I was like, I'm gonna go to Australia and fucking kill it. And arguably, I thought I should have been in 4th at that show. And it was an awesome show. Like first was Sean Roden, second was William Bonek, third was Branch Warren. And I thought I should have placed right behind them, but they had Ed Nunn and Tony Freeman beat me. But I didn't think they should have beat me. But either way, like I went from not even being in the conversation to being in that final pose down. and it was like 60 minutes of cardio, 60 minutes of cardio, 60 minutes of cardio, no carb all week. I literally did not touch a carb all week, doing 60 minutes of cardio every day until the night before, and I had 14 ounces of sweet potato, and then I carbed up the day of the show. And I'm telling you, bro, like when I tell you I'm not exaggerating, my sponsors were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "If you guys can just carry my bags for me, just carry my bags for me." And like I had no energy. My boy took me to the airport and he was like, "Are you okay? Like you're pale." And I'm like, "I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win." And it was like I didn't win, but I won. You know what I mean? Like I didn't win, but my look was a million. If I show you the difference in those pics, it's fucking crazy how different I look from 1 week. So like, if you're willing to work hard enough, anything's possible.
I just looked at my comparison pics from when I did the first show in Maryland.
Right.
That's when I did the Olympia.
Night and day, right? Night and day.
It's like, you know, it's one of those things, you don't know what your body can do until you...
Yeah, you gotta just push it, right? Your body can do amazing things when you push it. But it's like, when I started this prep, I was like, can I go to that dark space again and do it? And I'm like, this has been the most locked in prep. Like it's been so easy.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be dark because you're embracing it.
Yeah, because I'm loving it, man. I just can't wait for this opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. But what else you got? You good?
That's it, bro. It's pouring down raining outside, man.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
It's really raining.
We might see a new look soon, guys. We might be recording from a different, brighter place.
Well, either way, we always trying to improve the information. We're always trying to improve the podcast. So please drop a comment, share it with your friends. If I get a lot of compliments on the content, but if you don't like something, don't be afraid. It ain't gonna hurt our feelings. It's just gonna make us better. Drop a comment, let us know. Thumbs up if you do love us, and we'll see you next week.
Like,
Peace.
comment, subscribe.
Have a good one. We love you.
Peace.